So we have one more panel left, but before that, we have a mini award ceremony. We have 3 awards that we're giving out today. So our first award is for Genevieve Eliany, who's here with us today. We wanted to support her as a WiCCD member and for the work that she was doing this year. So we all know what she had to go through and for her bravery. So we really support you, Genevieve, and thank you so much. And that's why we're giving you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much to everyone. The amount of support I've received continues to be overwhelming. Anyone that I haven't seen since the contempt incident in other courthouses, for example, they still come up to me and say, "Oh my goodness, I didn't get a chance to speak to you." And they continue to offer their support. In terms of maybe a message to young counsel, I received a few calls from new calls or recent calls who were having some pretty serious difficulties. And they reached out to me because they'd heard about the publicity and I was not very helpful to them. I tried to help them, but there was really nothing I could do other than listen. And I told them to reach out to their local association. And I cannot underestimate that enough, or the importance of the local associations enough. That's what they're there for. We're here to support each other, and you have to reach out to your colleagues. I know that sometimes as a new lawyer, it's scary to do that, but I think you'll find that even a stranger you approach in the courthouse will help you. So thanks again to everybody. I'm really touched.
This is going to take a second. Sorry, Justice Jones. Yeah, I like to take up space. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us. I am the secretary of WiCCD. My name is Anita Szigeti, and I'm wearing earrings that Maya gave me that make it almost impossible to wear a mask. It is my privilege to present Nader Hassan with the WiCCD Ally 2024 Award. WiCCD has an Ally Award because women cannot achieve true equality within criminal defense without our male allies. We may not have many, but the allies we do have are exceptional and integral to retaining women in criminal defense. It is very important to recognize their contributions. Previous WiCCD allies include legal giants, John Struthers and Marco Chiara. Nader Hassan is this year's recipient because he has quietly, as is his way, but also forcefully, as is also his way, supported his women colleagues at every available opportunity throughout his career, giving them space to shine and celebrating their achievements. In this past year alone, I've had occasion to witness Nader's validation of our experiences as women in criminal defense. For a quick example, I complained to Nader that our women colleagues who had been very successful in a major leading case were not getting the acknowledgement and recognition I felt they deserved. And Nader, hearing that, took to his own personal social media to give these women their flowers, leading by example so that others of his colleagues would know that these women did this and they deserve to be acknowledged. Seems like a little thing, but it's very important that men lead by example. And finally, I'm just going to take a minute, couple of seconds to give you an idea of who Nader is if you don't know him. And I feel like I'm telling you that I know him intimately. Well, I met him for the first time last year. But in that year, he's made an impression on me. Last year, the Court of Appeal asked Nader to demonstrate how an appellant would present their opening in oral argument as part of the kickoff event for the Rosenberg moot. Last minute, the Crown, who was supposed to do the opening, fell ill. So we, the organizers, very sheepishly asked Nader if he could just please do both opening arguments. And he said, because this is who he is, sure, anything to help. So moments before he was to get up to argue against himself, I saw him still scribbling last minute notes. And all I could think was, oh man, this guy really wants to win. Nader is a winner. He's a winner not only because he's brilliant, talented, and hardworking, but because he is endlessly kind with a purpose. He implicitly understands discrimination and unfailingly seeks to address it head on, eradicating unfairness. For all these reasons, I am honored to present Nader Hassan with the WiCCD Ally Award of 2024. And that's what
Should I say something?
yeah, it probably will fall apart.
Okay. Well, let's stay there. They're good? Okay. I'll try not to take up too much airtime at a WiCCD event. Thank you, Anita, for that very generous introduction. This is a tremendous honor. I have so much respect for WiCCD, both for what it stands for and for the quality of the programming that it always puts on. I also have tremendous admiration for the women who run WiCCD. Maya, whenever we've worked together, I've always come away really impressed by your brilliance and your practical approach to dealing with hard and challenging problems. And I think that the WiCCD lecture series that you folks put out on YouTube, it is phenomenal. It is must-see viewing, I think, for young and old lawyers alike. And Anita, one of the other leaders of this organization, someone who continues to really inspire. I haven't gotten to know Anita until recently, but knew about her by reputation for years, and also because whenever I'd have a thorny mental health legal issue, I would always be consulting her textbook. But it wasn't until the last year during the Shukairy inquest when I got to see Anita in action. My view is that advocates are really at their best when they combine subject matter expertise with passion and work ethic. And that's what I saw from Anita in the Shukairy inquest, and it really helped us get the phenomenal results we got in that inquest. I have to confess a bit of trepidation in accepting such a prestigious award. Firstly, because quite frankly, I don't know that I do enough for promoting the advancement of women in this profession. I feel like I do the minimum. We all could and should be doing more. The other issue, I have to confess some philosophical trouble with the idea of allyship. Allyship is about human decency. It should be required of all of us. If you have privilege in this profession and you're not an ally, you're kind of a jerk. There's really no neutral ground here. And especially for criminal defense counsel. The values that are essential to doing our job require solidarity with all equity-seeking groups. Philosophical issues aside, I'm very grateful for this recognition from one of the leading criminal defense organizations in Canada in a very short amount of time. I think we can safely say that WiCCD is one such organization. My own identity is very much tied into being a criminal defense lawyer. The criminal defense community is a community based on shared ideals, values, principles. The idea and principle that fairness matters in each and every case, and that we will defend those principles to the very end, no matter how unpopular our clients may well be. I'm proud to be a part of that dedicated and fearless community. And let's face it, many of the women who join and remain among the ranks of criminal defense counsel are the most dedicated, the most passionate, and the most hardworking among criminal defense counsel. Because the practice of criminal defense is a grind for all of us, but often even more so for the women within our ranks. The reality is that this profession and this society demands more of women. That's not how it should be, but that is how it is. But of course, it shouldn't have to be that way. You shouldn't constantly be making sacrifices in order to do the noble work that you do. And we should all be demanding more from this profession. Everyone, not just women, should be demanding more of this profession for women. And look, I understand that not every woman takes parental leave, but many do. And for those that do, for those who do, there does need to be much better support out there. What exists right now at the Law Society in terms of parental leave assistance program, it's a nice idea, but it needs to be modernized. The eligibility thresholds need to be revamped to take into account a living wage, and that's something we should all be demanding of the Law Society. It breaks my heart every time I see a talented young women criminal defense counsel leave and join the Crown's office, and we need to do what we can to help stem that tide. And we need to continue to demand better funding from Legal Aid Ontario so that counsel can actually be paid for the tremendous work that they do. That, of course, doesn't just benefit women. It helps everyone, including our clients, but it certainly benefits those coming back to the profession after taking a parental leave. And finally, like you, I was extremely disturbed to read that Toronto Star series on workplace harassment in the legal profession. The profession needs to do a better job of listening to women and understand that these types of issues aren't yesterday's problems. They remain pressing problems today. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much again to WiCCD for this tremendous honor, and congratulations on a really fantastic conference. Thank you.
And we have also an award for Justice Brock Jones for all the help. He didn't know that he was winning an award. We wanted to surprise you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. You've been very supportive since the very early days of WiCCD. You've helped organize this conference. I mean, this was, we worked together for this one, coming up with the agenda, the speakers, and all the meetings that we had to do. It was a lot of work, and you took the time out of your busy schedule in court to do this because of your passion and dedication for your work and for our clients. We really thank you so much. And we're very grateful that we have judges who appreciate that and who make the time to help us. So we wanted to also thank you for your work and your support for WiCCD. So please accept this award.
Unlike Nader, I didn't know I was going to get this until a few minutes ago, so I don't have anything clever prepared to say. I'll just add, to pick up on his excellent remarks, the following. we all in this profession have an obligation to make it welcoming and inclusive. And I think that burden probably falls heaviest on the courts, as it should. I hope that I have done a good job in my brief judicial career, making an environment that encourages people, including talented young women, to want to be a part of this profession, notwithstanding the overtures that were made earlier to join the Crown's office, but also in the defense bar, where we need talent. And I'm so impressed by the talent I see regularly. And I will say that I was so honored that Maya even asked me to do this conference with her. And I remember my first reaction was like, don't you want like a good judge or a better judge than me? You know, I'll find you someone. It's okay. There's a lot of 10 Armory. But really the work that WiCCD does is just so impressive and so excellent and so desperately needed. And if I can play some small part in helping to contribute to that, then I'm very happy to do so. And with all those happy remarks, who wants to hear about some law in the last 5-10 minutes, eh?
Of course, yeah. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I have to interrupt. We have one last surprise, and it's because this woman is impossible to surprise. She was supposed to go for dinner with us a few months ago and told us, no, I'm too busy. I've got inquests and I've got this and I've got that, and we can't possibly do dinner. And the exec of WiCCD said, okay, well, we're gonna have to find a time. Come the WiCCD bail conference. And she was very busy planning and writing kind words for all the people that do so much for our organization, that it just was exactly the right time to also show her our appreciation and give her her flowers. So let me be very clear. There would be no WiCCD without Anita Szigeti. Stop crying. She is quite literally the person who founded this idea out of a group chat. I'm happy and proud to be in that group chat. And Maya was early days. Maya Martin's in the room, early days. Amanda Ross is in the room, early days. And this came out of commiseration about the SHIT we go through as women. And yeah, I'm not repeating that. But it came out of a need for a space that is safe and that is ours, and that doesn't have a single man, no offense to the men in the room, telling us how or what or when to do it. And so Anita gets today the WiCCDest award. No, it's not.
We don't have a lot of money, so some of the awards break. And if mine hasn't broken yet, I will break it on the way home because I'm also a class. So I don't know, Justice Jones, what gave you the impression that Nader had been tipped off? He would be getting the award. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, maybe he just talks like that. But we wanted yours to be a surprise. I am genuinely surprised. And I'm genuinely crying also. I don't know how to fake that. So for me to see this many of you, there's got to be over 100 to 150 people in this room and a couple of hundred online. So for me to see an organization that came to me as an idea in the very last months of 2021, in November of 2021, I got fed up with a bunch of guys and said, we're going to move on and make our own thing, see what happens. And thank you to those who said rude things to me at the time that irritated me to the point of motivating me this far. But you know how it is. After a while, you just think to yourself, maybe we do need a space of our own, a room of our own. And I'm not responsible for what WiCCD has become. I may have had the idea, but those of you who know me know that I have ideas constantly, and a lot of them, frankly, are crap. This one was not, and that's because of the camaraderie, the collegiality, the intellect, the talent, the power, and the unbelievable hard work of the women who volunteer their time on our executive. Maya Shukairy, previously the sole recipient of our WiCCD Wonder Award. Maya works a full-time job for WiCCD. Nobody's paid a dime for the work they do. Maya works honestly several hours each day, and my text messaging will attest to the hundreds of text messages between Maya and me. Early in the morning, we're up, late at night, middle of the night. She works nonstop. Cassandra, our treasurer, who has the easiest job in the world as treasurer because we have no money, have never had any money, have no bank account. It's a completely fake position, but she's really outdone herself in it. We have Amanda Ross, who's our Toronto vice president, who's a superb talent and the kindest mentor to our members that you can imagine. Sarah Rankin, our vice president in Alberta, is a brilliant litigator who was one of the two lawyers together with her colleague Heather Ferg, who won Bykowitz in the Supreme Court of Canada. And I want to acknowledge them by name here. And who else we got? Maya Martin, who's with us, who's our litigation director, who's been incredibly supportive and hardworking for WiCCD. Hamna Anwar, who is very lazy and wouldn't come here today, but is likely watching on Zoom. I saw that she signed up to attend by Zoom a couple of days ago. She's due to have her baby, I don't know, later today or tomorrow. So we got a lot of apologies from Hamna, but she didn't think she could risk coming here today because of the birth. Some people are lazy like that, I don't know. Brianna Van de Beek, who you all know is an incredibly talented appellate lawyer, is part of our executive. And I really hope that I'm not forgetting anyone. We have 9 women on the executive. Oh, who's editing the video? I'm gonna need to add something in and take something out. We have Sid Freeman as our president of the organization, and she has led with a steady and calm and sensible hand. Every statement that WiCCD puts out is either drafted by Sid, the queen of all statements, or approved by her. She has an incredible wisdom. Also, she manages to be our president in between, as you may know, running her firm known as Murder Inc. For good reason. I don't know too many people who run back-to-back lengthy, complex murder trials throughout their entire career, and she's unbelievable. If I forgot anyone else, it's too bad because we're not doing that again. But the membership of WiCCD, more than 550 women and female identifying gender diverse lawyers across Canada. I think we're getting pretty well everyone who is eligible for membership, and we're only 2 3/4 years of age. So the organization, you know, the sky's the limit. And I am so proud of each and every one of you who are our members and everything that you bring day in and day out to our listserv to support each other, to celebrate each other, to empower each other, to encourage each other, so that we may have the day will come when women are comfortable staying beyond the first 10 years before they start having families and children. So they stay in defense, because our heart is in standing up for the vulnerable, and our heart is with standing up against the state. And when we're forced to take different jobs and do different things because we can't afford our families, our lives, our children, we can't afford to take a break. That's not a fair democratic system. So thank you. And thank you, Cassandra and Maya, for this incredible surprise. I'm very, very moved.